and MixTV.tv News. I'm Steve Hartline reporting at 9:28. We have just received a news release from Bradley County Fire and Rescue and an update. The fatal residential fire on Live Oak Trail has now claimed 3 lives. 3 people now died, are now dead in the fire last night in the Royal Oak subdivision on Live Oak Trail. I'm going to quote from the press release we just received. Quote, "It is with deep sadness we provide an update on the tragic residential fire that occurred last night at 366 Live Oak Trail. We can now confirm that all 3 victims have succumbed to their injuries, and now these victims have been identified." And they are apologize, folks. The victims are Benjamin Lawrence Sr., age 93, Benjamin Lawrence Jr., age 75, Adrian Lawrence, age 73. Upon arriving at the scene, Bradley County Fire and Rescue found the home engulfed in heavy smoke and flames. Tragically, Benjamin Lawrence Jr., that's the 75-year-old, was pronounced dead at the scene. The other 2 victims, Benjamin Lawrence Sr., age 93, Adrian Lawrence, age 73, were transported to Bradley Medical Center in critical condition. Despite the efforts of medical personnel, both later passed away, and they passed away at the, passed away from their injuries. Fire investigators from Bradley County Fire and Rescue, the TBI, and the District Attorney's Office have completed their investigation. Due to the extensive damage of at the home, the cause of the fire will be listed as undetermined. We are once again this morning joined by Adam Lewis, who is director of the Bradley County Emergency Medical Service, as well as spokesman for Bradley County Fire and Rescue. Adam, this is an absolute tragedy this morning.
It really is. It really is a bad story that just gets worse.
So what you released to the public in the last few minutes, and of course we are in breaking news, a special report mode here on Mix 104.1 Radio, as well as MixTV.tv, is in fact, Adam, and I'm just going to have you repeat a little bit, that now all 3 victims have died in the house fire in Bradley County and the on Live Oak Trail last night. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, all 3 victims. One victim was initially found deceased on the scene. The other 2 who were transported by ground in critical condition have succumbed to their injuries.
Adam, I know I want to break down a couple of things here from your news release. So all three of these men, obviously related, I guess we can say. They're all last name Lawrence. Is that right?
That's correct. The oldest Benjamin Lawrence Sr. was the father. The other 2 were both brothers, come from a much larger family. Investigators and law enforcement have been in touch with those family members, some of whom are living currently out of town, and so there are several other family members, several other brothers actually, who've had to be notified of this morning.
The ages listed: Benjamin Lawrence Sr., 93, Benjamin Lawrence Jr., 75, Adrian Lawrence, 73. But what has happened in the investigation now being listed as undetermined? Adam, does that mean that we'll never know what happened?
That's very likely. That's what the cause will be listed as from the Bradley County Fire Rescue report once it's filed. And the reason for that really is because there was just so much damage in the home. It's really, really too difficult for them to determine the cause. Sometimes the area of the home can somewhat be narrowed down, but even in this case, it's just proven too difficult to do that.
We're joined by Adam Lewis. He is the director of the Bradley County Emergency Medical Service, but he's also a spokesman for Bradley County Fire and Rescue. You know, you start thinking about history in Bradley County, and someone said this to me a few minutes ago, wondering the last time that we have lost so many people in a fire here, 3 people in a house fire. I mean, one is too
Yes.
many, but 3 is we start getting into some historical territory here.
Absolutely. I'm not sure when the last time we've had 3. Unfortunately, we had to report just a few months ago the death of 2 in a fatal house fire earlier in the spring. But you're right. I'm not quite sure when we would have been needed to report as many as 3.
So
certainly does not happen often.
Yeah, the fire investigators, I'm going to go back to your press release, Adam. Fire investigators from Bradley County Fire and Rescue, TBI, and the 10th Judicial Attorney General's Office have completed their investigation, going to be undetermined. But again, this is a father and 2 sons. Again, Benjamin Lawrence Sr., age 93, Benjamin Lawrence Jr., age 75, Adrian Lawrence, age 73. Another thing I want to point out, you know, we have received a lot of comments here, Adam. A very close-knit neighborhood. There are some people really hurting this morning, not just the Lawrence family, but a lot of their neighbors out there, Adam.
Absolutely. You know, we saw that last night on the scene. Quite a few neighbors in the immediate area, of course, came out. It's rather large neighborhood, one entrance in and out. Long time established neighborhood as well. The family had lived here in the home for 40 years, and so that's a long time to be in one place. Many of their neighbors been here equally as long, and so we saw that close-knit community come out last night, and I can imagine there are many people that are affected by this.
Well, and of course, our thoughts and prayers also with all the first responders. We cannot forget them and the unbelievable work that these men and women do on a daily basis. But in a situation like this, Adam, my God, they're human beings, and I cannot imagine the toll that it takes on them emotionally, not to mention physically, but this is another case why they are heroes.
Absolutely, and it does take a toll. I mean, these men and women see the worst of the worst every day that they're on the job, and they come together in moments of absolute chaos, like we saw last night, chaos and tragedy, and work diligently, professionally, to find the best outcome. And when it ends as tragically as this has, it does take a toll. You're absolutely right.
Adam Lewis is, again, the director of Bradley County EMS, as well as spokesman for the Bradley County Fire and Rescue. Adam, anything you want to add here before we go?
No, sir. I echo what you've already shared, that we certainly share our thoughts and prayers. This is a large family, a well-established family here in the community, and our thoughts and prayers are with them as well as their friends and anyone that's been impacted by this.
Adam Lewis, Adam, thank you. Thank you for coming on with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay. All right. So an absolute tragedy. As Adam said there in the beginning, it is a bad story, a terrible story that's gotten worse. If you're just joining us, we're in a Mix 1041, MixTV.tv special report. As we reported to you last night, the call came in about 6:30 in the Royal Oak subdivision here in Bradley County on Live Oak Trail. Initially, it was reported that one person died in the fire now, and that 2 people were taken from Bradley Medical Center and flown to a burn center near Atlanta. And now all 3 men are dead, and it was a father and 2 sons. If you're just joining us, the victims have now been identified from the fatal house fire last night. as Benjamin Lawrence Sr., age 93. His son, Benjamin Lawrence Jr., age 75. And his other son, Adrian Lawrence, 73. The other part of this story is after investigating all night, Bradley County Fire and Rescue, TBI, and the District Attorney's Office completed their investigation, and due to the extensive damage of the home, the cause of the fire will now be listed as undetermined. So we really, that's pending something else happening, but at this point, really no cause will be listed for this fire. So just an absolute horrible story, horrible story, where a father and his two sons died in a house fire last night here in Bradley County, and it's just a terrible story. And our thoughts here at Mix 1041 and Mix TV are with the Lawrence family, and I'm sure that we will have, as the days come on, we'll have more about arrangements and that sort of thing. But you are listening to Mix 1041. You're watching us on MixTV.tv. This is a special report. Again, three people are now, and all those three people in that home are now all gone. A father and two sons died in a house fire in Bradley County last night, and just a tragedy. We're going to send you back to regular programming. We'll continue to update this story throughout the day, our noon news, as well as news this afternoon with Emily Beatty. She'll have more on this story, but that is it for now for our Mix 1041 MixTV.tv special report. I'm Steve Hartline reporting. Good day.